Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammad Jahangir Alam Bappi, Assistant Teacher, Cantonment Public School and College, Soyodpur. Today I am back with another lecture of Elementary Science Class 5 English version. Previously we discussed about the first part of Chapter 3, which is Water for Life, and today we will be discussing about the second part of that particular chapter. Dear learners, this chapter is about water for life. So in our previous chapter we discussed about the importance of water in plants' life, in animals' life, and so on. So I would like to discuss a little bit more about the previous lecture so that you can have that idea again, the importance of water in plant and animals' life. And after that we will be discussing today about water cycle and safe water and water purification, as well as different type of water purification method. Okay, let's start. So in our previous class we discussed about the use of water in plants. So what are the uses of water in plants body? We discussed it earlier. I am repeating another time for your betterment. Look, use of water in plants. So what does plant actually used to do? The plants used to absorb water by its root from the soil, and that water used to play very crucial role in plant's body. Okay, and I also discussed that a very important thing or a reaction which happens in plant's body, that is photosynthesis. In this particular picture we can see that how the photosynthesis occurs with the help of water, sunlight and atmospheric carbon dioxide. This is the process by which plants actually does photosynthesis, and in this particular process water plays a very crucial role. So hence we can easily understand the importance of water in plant's body. Now we will be going forward to the importance of water in animals' body. Okay, dear students, look, the importance of water in human body. There are four very important issues are there of water in human's body. What are those? Helps carry nutrients to all of the body parts. The second one is helps body to absorb the nutrients. Third one helps to digest food, and the fourth one is one of the most important, maintain the temperature of the body or maintain proper temperature of the body. So in our previous lecture also we discussed it, so I am recalling this for your betterment. Okay, so now we also discussed about the changes of state of matter and the changes of states of water. So look, the solid states of water, ice, the liquid state and the gaseous state. We know that water can be in three states. So these are the three states that plays a very important role in water cycle. So we will be discussing today about water cycle. Why it is known as water cycle, and what are the parts or what are the cycle about, we will be discussing today. So have a look. What is the definition of water cycle? The circulation of water from the land to the sky and back again is called water cycle. So what happens from the land to the sky? When the water goes from the land to the sky and it backs again by a circular process, that is why it is known as water cycle. So in this particular cycle there are three stages. There are most important three stages. First one, evaporation. The second one, condensation, and the third one is precipitation, or we can also call it as rainfall. Okay, there are some other forms of precipitation also. It can be rain, it can be hail, it can be storm. Okay, so look at this. We are going to discuss today about water cycle. Okay, so have a look. The water cycle. So what is happening here? The water cycle that takes the water and moves it upward, okay, and down all around the earth. So what is happening? The water is moving upward and forming cloud, then again coming back towards the earth. So it is happening like a circular process. That is why this is known as a cycle, which is water cycle. So in this particular cycle, what is the first step? What is the first step? The first step is evaporation. So what happens when the sun hits, then the water of the different sources, we know there are different sources of water, rivers, canals, oceans. So water from that particular sources used to heat up and gets warm. And then what happens? When the water gets warm, then it turns to water vapor. And that particular water vapor used to go up. Look, evaporation is the process by which water vapor directly enters the atmosphere from lakes and oceans, or you can say also from different water sources. Okay, so by this particular picture, we can understand what is evaporation. So we are going to the next one. Look, not only the evaporation takes place from the water sources, but also it can take place in plant's body. So when it takes place in plant's body, we call it evapotranspiration, or in case of plants you can specifically say that it is transpiration. So the way or the process by which plants used to excrete the excess water from its different parts of the body, that is known as transpiration. Okay, and as it is a process of evaporation, so we can call it simultaneously evapotranspiration. So look, evapotranspiration, in transpiration water evaporated and leaves of the plants. Okay, we are moving to the next. Look, a key step in the water cycle is when water turns from gas to liquid, that is known as condensation. In our previous lecture, we discussed about the formation of dew. The same way, when the water heats up and goes upward, what happens? Whenever we go upward, the temperature used to lessen. Then when the water vapor reaches a high level, then what happens? When the temperature gets less, the water vapors used to turn into tiny water droplets, and then that tiny water droplets accumulates into a form which is known as cloud. Okay, so by the process which cloud used to form, that is known as condensation. So we found two steps. One is evaporation and the second one is condensation. Okay, so sometimes students used to mix up these things. What is evaporation and what is condensation? Where does the evaporation used to take place and where does the condensation used to take place? So have a look. In this particular picture, I am saying that don't confuse, dear students. First of all, evaporation, why does it take place? It takes place on the earth's surface. So we know that on the earth's surface there are a lot of sources of water like rivers, canals, ponds, oceans. So from that particular place, when water gets warm and heats up and goes upward, then it becomes evaporated. That process is known as evaporation. So when the water goes upward and coagulates together and accumulates into a formation which is known as cloud, that is known as condensation. So where does condensation used to occur? It used to occur in the clouds. So the formation of clouds is condensation, and the warm up water, when the water gets warm and gets upward, that is evaporation, and that happens on the earth's surface. Okay, so the difference between condensation and evaporation, I hope it's clear now. So now have a look. The water went upward and formed cloud. So when the tiny droplets forms into a bigger droplet, then what happens? The rainfall used to occur. So precipitation, that is known as precipitation or rainfall. So precipitation can happen in different ways. So what are those? It can be rain, it can be snow, it can be sleet, it can be hail. So look at this. Precipitation can be any form of water that falls back on the earth. So precipitation is a form of water, okay, so which comes back to the earth again. Okay, so have a look. This is the page belongs to your textbook. So I have added it also. Look at this. What is written on your textbook? The way that water moves all around the earth and it changes its states is called water cycle. I'm repeating. The way that water moves all around the earth and it changes its state is called water cycle. Okay, look, the state of water is always changing through the cycle. So in this particular picture, we can see what is happening through water cycle. As I said earlier, I am repeating for you. Listen, this is the source. This is the source of water, and what is happening here in this particular source, the water is getting evaporated. The water is getting evaporated, and it's forming tiny water droplets and coagulated into cloud by the process condensation. And when the clouds used to get bigger and then precipitation used to occur, precipitation, the form of precipitation is rainfall. So the rainfall is occurring here, or the snowfall, or infiltration. So what is happening? The water is coming back again into the earth's surface. So there is a circular thing which is happening in our environment all the time. So this particular cycle is known as water cycle. Okay, so I hope this is now clear what water cycle is. Okay, so now water pollution. Dear students, we know that water is our life. So water is being polluted in different ways. We are polluting water by our daily activities. So what is water pollution? The addition of harmful substances into the water is known as water pollution. Okay, so the causes of water pollution, have a look at the picture. In a source of water, multiple type of activities is occurring there. So as we are polluting the water by throwing our garbages, by throwing the waste materials, by throwing the industrial waste, so what is happening? The water is being polluted. So due to the water pollution, what is happening? That is known as the cause effects of water pollution. Look, if we pollute water, we know that water is a habitat of different animals. So what will happen? That particular habitat will be in danger. So the animals what used to live underwater, they will be in danger. The food chain will be broken there. Okay, and if we use that water, what will happen? We will be in danger. We will fall in different type of sickness. So we should not waste water. We should not throw garbages or waste material or waste things to the water. Okay. Now, how to prevent water pollution? As I said, we should prevent the water pollution by not throwing the garbages or not throwing the waste materials or the industrial waste into the water or natural sources of water. If we can do that, inshallah, we can save water pollution. So what we need to do? We need to raise awareness among the peoples not to throw garbages into the sources of water. Okay, so now have a look. Save water. So what is save water? We know that there are different sources of water. The natural sources like rivers, ponds, are they safe water? What you will call, are they safe water? Okay, tube oil water, what we use, that is safe water. But we can call that river water or ponds water, they are fresh water, but they are not safe water. So what is called safe water? The water which is not harmful to human being, or the water if you use, you will not be affected by any type of diseases, that will be known as safe water. So if you want to use the pond water or river water or other sources of water, so what should you do? You have to purify it. So look, that is known as water purification. So water purification is a treatment to make water safe and acceptable for human use. So if you want to use pond water or river water, first of all you have to purify that. Otherwise you will be in danger. You will be affected by different type of waterborne diseases. Okay. So what will happen, or what you need to do to purify water? If you want to purify water for different purposes, for different reasons, say for example a flood occurred in your locality, so all the tube wells of your locality went under the water. So what will you do on that particular time? You have to collect that water and you have to purify that water for your use in some particular methods. So what are that particular methods? We will learn now. Look, the following ways are to make the water safe or are to purify water. The first one is filtration. Okay, this is a very easy process. If you bring water from ponds or lakes or anywhere else, what you have to do, you have to put a cloth or tissues Okay, so on a pot, and then put that water on that pond, sorry, on that particular pot. I beg apology for saying pond. Then use that water. Okay, so you have to filtrate it. You have to filtrate it before using it. Okay, then sedimentation. So look at this, the process of filtration. Okay, sedimentation. Pour water from pond or river into a pitcher and leave it for a while. If you collect water from pond or any sources, so what you will do, you have to put that for a particular time. So what will happen, if there were dirty materials or dirt or different type of objects, what will happen, that particular things will go under the pot. Then you can collect the water from the upper part of that pot. Okay, so and after using that, you can throw that waste material. Okay, so that is known as the, okay, I would like to discuss a definition, which what is sedimentation called. Look, a water treatment process to remove suspended particles such as mud and sand from water to water is called sedimentation. As I said, that if you put that water for a particular time, what will happen, the sand or mud which will be a little, which has weight, they will go under that pot, and then you can collect water from the upper part. Okay, boiling, this is the most easiest way. Okay, so if you collect water from different sources, what you will do, you will boil the water for at least 20 minutes and then you can use water. Boiled water is always safe water. Okay, now purifying water with chemicals. We can also purify water by different type of chemicals. What are the chemicals called? That chemicals can be alarm, that chemicals can be bleaching powder and water purifying tablets. However, we should remember a very important thing. We can pure water by filtration, sedimentation, boiling and water purifying tablets, but we cannot pure arsenic contaminated water. We cannot pure arsenic contaminated water by any of these methods. So in case of arsenic contaminated water, you should not try this type of methods. Okay, so that's all about today's discussion, today's lecture. So now we will learn that what are the questions that will be important for this particular lecture, this particular chapter. This is a very important chapter for PEC examination. Okay, the first one is, what is water cycle? As I discussed today, this is a very important. It will come, what is water cycle, and describe water cycle by appropriate diagram. You have to write the definition and you have to draw the sketches of that water cycle, the evaporation, condensation and precipitation. And look, what is safe water I discussed. What is water purification? Short question. How can we purify water? By boiling. How can we purify water? By sedimentation. How can we purify water? By filtration. So these are very important questions for your PEC examination. I hope this question will help you for your preparation in PEC examinations, and thank you very much for joining my class, and see you in the next class. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.